All right, I think we are live. Yeah, okay, we are live. What is up, chat? How we all doing? Yep, we are definitely live. 100% live. Okay, just making sure. You know what? Why not? I'll use this. That might work, might not actually. There's whatever. Okay. There's worse things to prop up a mic with, I guess. Anyways, what is up, everyone? How we all doing today? Welcome to the stream. Welcome on in. Hope you're all doing great. Okay. Yeah. Wait, give me a second. Sorry, I am.
Oh god, you know what, whatever, pretend that didn't happen.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, Ripcord?
Alright, wait, talking to the mic again. I need to make sure your audio level is good.
Yo, what's up, Ripcord?
Okay. My stream should not have a problem hearing you. I'm live, by the way. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Are you on the server, event server, whatever?
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, I'm on the server already.
Okay,
And just kind of just waiting.
Alright, I'm gonna join it in like a second. Let's see.
Yeah, yep. You're all good. I haven't played too much of the server prior to this. I tried out a few runs of Sands, and I did one lap of Ace Race.
Nice. I haven't tried out any. I'm actually kind of excited for Ace Race. I feel like Ace Race is one of those games where, dude, that game would be so addicting if they brought it to MCCI.
Yeah. For what I can tell, like everything seems to just be like one map for everything. So there's not like multiple different dungeons for Sands, unfortunately, but the one that they do have, it's still fun.
No, that's fine. I don't really care, to be honest. Well,
To be
for
fair, as this is a big, this is just like a big temporary event anyway, so I kind of get why they didn't put like time into doing that.
I'm not gonna lie. The one thing I hate about Bedrock is the settings, man. The game never remembers my settings. Like my sensitivity is crazy.
No, I agree. Like, yeah, whatever. It's like a party system at all in the server.
I don't know.
It appears not. Whatever. I'm sure we can just queue at the same time for stuff.
Yeah, challenge list, overmap. Okay.
Yeah.
What is my sprint key, bro? I don't even. Oh, why is that? Oh wait. Oh, can you not sprint in the lobby? Is that what it is? Grid runners.
Oh, you can.
That's weird. I need to check what my sprint key.
I was gonna say if your keybinds aren't, they do not carry over. I had to redo all my keybinds.
Let's see.
Yeah, just kind of that.
Sprint is control. Interesting.
Yeah, that's the default. That or double tap. Those are the default ones. You can set it every way you want.
Oh, there we go. Now I can sprint. Oh wait.
Kind of just.
Okay. Ace Race is someone in my chat said their best run is 108. I don't know if that's good or not.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna pretend that I'm any good. No. Especially at Bedrock movement specifically.
Yeah, Bedrock just does feel a little bit clunky all around.
Hello, I'm Jens.
And I'm Agnes.
Welcome to the Mcc Bedrock 50th anniversary party.
We are here with Noxcrude.
Either way. Let me know when you're on the server and we want to start the podcasting.
Yeah. I am on.
Yo.
Yeah.
I selected like my normal skin, but like it seems to not be loading it, at least on my end. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, mine isn't either, and a lot of people's aren't. I don't think so. So I think it's just a Bedrock thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say it's not like it matters a ton.
Yeah. Someone else in my chat said there's 125. So I guess, yeah. So I guess most people, the average is around like a little bit over a minute. I'll try to get like the closest I can to a sub-minute. We'll see what happens though. I'll probably not, because I'm a little rusty when it comes to just Minecraft. And Bedrock is not my forte.
I was about to say, I'm not ever remotely pretend that I am a Bedrock player. Well, not in a long time at least.
Yeah, I mean everybody's played on Bedrock at least like once in their life, and a lot of people nowadays.
I feel like it's a usual thing to just have had like a Bedrock SMP with friends.
Yeah, I've had quite a few back in my day.
Apparently, apparently because of that, I have like I think it's hundreds of. I think it's like it might be like 700 hours on my Switch from the back in the day of Bedrock SMPing with friends. Anyways, that's not important.
Nah, that's fine. Yeah, some people said it can be a bit laggy. It is seeming like it is a little bit laggy on my end. Just a small amount. Maybe it will be better when we get into the actual games. All right, so what do you want to play? I don't really care what we play.
I'm fine to try out stuff. I mean, I haven't played Winners of Meltdown yet, so I'm gonna try that probably at some point.
All right.
I haven't played them yet.
All right. You want to start? We can start out with Ace Race.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Wait, does it teleport you into a game or just teleport you to the what? Like
it like teleports you to like a little area, and then you just basically go up to the start line and then start the lap.
Okay. You can join this by heading over to Minecraft Bedrock, and then it's literally on the loading screen. So, if you guys were wondering. Oh my gosh, it's CPK. It's actually MCC Lore, because he's actually really good at Ace Race. Wait, what? Oh, so you can just play. Okay. Alright, so what do you want to talk about, NFL-wise?
Do we want to get right into the record predictions, or do you want to talk about like minor NFL news quickly first?
Probably minor NFL news. I mean, trying to think. Oh, Brandon Ayuk requested a trade.
Yep. Niners were refusing to negotiate at all. Probably meaning that Brandon Ayuk is going to reluctantly play for the Niners for the season, then dip, is basically what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Oh.
I guess I'll start my A6 route.
I'm so
Oh
bad
god,
at
I'm
this.
getting a lot of lag in this race.
Yeah, same.
I might want to pick it. I might pick a different game. We'll see. Yeah, no, not doing this race on stream. I just worry. The lag feels so much worse than it was earlier.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of any other like a minor important news. Apparently, Love's refusing to like do any like practice until he gets his contract with the Packers.
All right. That's kind of weird. I don't think he should be really. I feel like he should just kind of like go with it, go with the flow. I don't think he should be really demanding anything. Yeah.
I mean, the worse the Packers front office headache has, the better, in my opinion, for me.
I mean, yeah. Dude, these green jump pads, I actually can't. Like, I can't deal with these things. These things are so annoying.
You have to manually jump, then the red ones will auto jump for you. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it's weird because it won't let me like jump forward with them almost. It's like
yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's a weird little mechanic. Okay.
Let's go do some more sands, I guess. Anyways, I'm trying to think of any other like major thing. I mean, a lot has happened obviously since the last time we talked, but in terms of like recent developments, have been kind of slow. I mean, minicamp season has started.
My time was 2:20. Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
We're gonna start like hearing about like players that are more likely to make the roster, which ones are not soon enough, but not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like literally like the last thing we talked about was golf literally got the extension. Was like literally happened on the air last time we streamed.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, it's I mean, he deserves it. Like, you know, it's not really.
I mean, yeah, 32 years without any playoff wins, and he achieves 2 of them. So I see why the Lions definitely wouldn't want to move on from him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lawrence got nearly as big of a deal as well, which.
Yeah, Lawrence is getting paid.
I don't know how I feel about that one, honestly.
40 million, or I think he's getting paid the same as he's getting paid like the same or more than Joe Burrow, I think, something like that.
No, Goff's getting paid slightly less than Burrow.
Oh, then Trevor Lawrence, yeah, okay, but still, that's a hefty
for a
price.
quarterback that's had 2 winning seasons and 1 playoff win. Like, I would feel more comfortable about it if last season wasn't 8-3, dropped down to 9-8.
Yeah, that is that's pretty bad. Yeah, that's something that Dolphins would do, to be honest. But
yeah, Tua sus to get the contract, and I'm finding that hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Tua is definitely one of those quarterbacks that I would hesitate to give it to. But that's
speaking of their quarterback, I don't know. I'd hesitate a little bit to give an extension. Dak needs an extension.
Yeah. No.
So, I'm excited to see how much CD Lamb and Dak Prescott need an extension. It's gonna bankrupt the Cowboys.
I mean, CD deserves it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Parsons deserves it.
Yeah.
Dak's the real outlier there, sadly, and he's the quarterback. So.
Then the issue is I don't know who else they'd put in for quarterback in terms of like getting one. There's not really many in the market right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do. Not that I care if the Cowboys have problems. Personally, but you know, from the standpoint of what should they do? I don't know. They're gonna have to paying Dak like 60 mil or something a year.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Sorry, Gladiator. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take a screening with you.
Yeah, I think that's
a little too much.
Like most of like the big news. Other than like they said, the Ayuk was like the big thing. T Higgins.
Most of the skins are different. Yeah, it is a little laggy too. Sorry about that, guys.
I know you're a little disappointed on that news.
Were you sorry, I was muted. Were you talking about Judon? The Judon?
I was talking about T Higgins.
Yeah.
Not planning to play out the year.
I mean, we missed another, game-changing wide receiver, kind of what we do, so I'm not too surprised, but I'm kind of, I will say I'm a little disappointed, but whatever. I don't care. I don't care that much, to be honest. I do care, but I don't care, because I think Drake May I think he'll be fine, so.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about the Judon quickly. Situation. It's just Judon wants an extension. The Patriots haven't given him one yet, and there's like people are betting on where places where he could go. Detroit's up there for one of them, based on people's bets. If it's for the right price, I could say maybe see Brett Holmes doing it, but we'll see. It is if the Lions are going to make a trade for anyone that is up there, that or maybe Woods from the Texans just as an extra receiver, because the Texans are probably going to cut him anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess it's probably about time to get into the record predictions.
Someone said in my chat, Dak's good. He's just a meme. I mean, you're not wrong. He does get MVP votes, but he is kind of just a joke, just like the entire Cowboys organization at the end of the day.
I was about to say he is just basically just the perfect representation of the Cowboys these last years.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel bad when because like there's some player like I do like some of the players that the Cowboys have, to be honest.
yeah.
It's just that like overall their team's just so like just so not, I guess, fun to watch. I don't know how to describe it. They're just Cowboys at the end of the day.
I mean
Yeah, Mike McCarthy though needs to go, man. That guy is
Oh
not,
yeah,
that guy's
no. The
not
fact that he
doing his
didn't get
job.
fired is kind of funny. But don't worry, they're going all in this year. I would quote what would the most popular reply to that tweet was, but I cannot, as it does contain I swear, and I do not want to swear in Ripcord streams.
That's fine. But yeah, it's just I think everybody at this point kind of realizes, yeah, Mike McCarthy should go. So it's kind of weird that, I mean, Jerry Jones probably wants Bill Belichick, to be honest. He's probably gonna fire Mike and get Bill, so that makes sense. Because Bill is gonna return next year, I think, is what all the reports are saying. So
Yeah, I was gonna say Bill wanted a job this year, didn't get one, and sitting out, and I don't think he's going to go to the college level.
yeah, I agree.
But I mean, I guess he could.
I think college is one of those things where it's like he enjoys like watching it happen, and he enjoys like seeing how it plays out, but like coaching it, I just don't think it would fit him. I don't know.
Yeah, but either way, it doesn't sound like he really wants to like retire just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I give
guess-
him like 2 more seasons in the NFL if he came back, so
Yeah.
maybe more than that depending on what team he goes to. If it's the Cowboys, I give him maximum 4 years, but like for any other team, probably 2 years. Because the Cowboys, he probably needs to take a little bit to actually win, because they're the Cowboys and he needs to break the curse. But for most teams, like, he'll probably just end up getting tired of coaching. Like the Falcons, like if he went to the Falcons, I think he'd be done after 2 years. He's just that organization's just a mess.
Oh, I don't want to
So-
talk about the Falcons front office.
Yeah. No, I don't want to talk about anything about the Falcons, to be honest, except for Kirk Cousins. I guess he's the only redeeming factor about that team right now.
Like Kirk Cousins, don't get me wrong, is a pretty good quarterback and all. I just don't know how we'll play after that injury.
Yeah. What was it? It was Achilles or ACL?
Yeah,
Achilles. Yeah.
I think it was Achilles.
Yeah, I mean that's like what, the second worst injury you can get as a quarterback behind your ACL. So.
Yeah, like.
Oh, I guess, and also like a rotator cuff or like shoulder injury, but still.
He does have he does have the benefit of I'm dead in Sans. This is so sad. Of playing behind the Falcons O-line, which I'll give some credit. It is a pretty good O-line.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, like I said, we'll have to wait and see. I still can't trust the Falcons. It's not. It's just is the Falcons. Is it being biased? Maybe, but maybe the Falcons like proved that they can do stuff. I believe in them.
Yeah. No, I mean the Falcons just, yeah, they haven't proved anything really over the past like 5 years. All they've proved is that they, one, are just a bad team or just a straight up mediocre team.
Yeah, but either way,
No,
it's the Falcons.
I died.
Okay, this is no. I'm just gonna restart that sentence one. Anyways, I guess we should probably get into the record prediction finally.
Yeah.
I should have pulled that up before. Okay, no, we're just gonna pull that up before I start a answer. Okay, so AFC or NFC? What are we feeling first?
We can do NFC. That's probably the easier one, right?
Yep. Okay, starting off, the worst team according to record, and then like tiebreakers, because this team does tie with the team in the AFC. We have the New York Giants. That shouldn't be that overly surprised for a pick of the worst team. Keep in mind, we ran through schedules, so these predictions aren't just like, oh, we picked a number that sounds good. No, we literally went through every game together,
Yeah.
and this is the results from that.
Yep.
Yeah, put simply, you give one of the worst teams in the NFC a third place schedule, and all of a sudden they do terribly. Are we shocked?
Nah, not really.
Like,
I mean, yeah, it's.
They're stuck with the Daniel Jones experience for at least this season.
I didn't. To be honest, I actually saw this earlier on ESPN, like yesterday or whatever. I didn't know Daniel Jones tore his ACL. I thought it was like a more minor injury. But
no, it was
him coming off of
Which-
an ACL tear is bad for him.
Yeah, because that's literally his entire like thing was his ability to move in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, that and then the fact that they're paying him that much money, and he's like probably most likely just gonna be crippled is kind of sad.
Yeah, like I said, this Giants are just in horrendous situation. I don't know what else to say then. This you make moves sometimes sometimes it bites you, and it very much did bite the Giants. Yeah, like I said, 3-14. This team good news for you though, Giants fans. First overall pick. And unlike the Panthers, you didn't trade away your first round pick next year.
Yeah.
So you can actually have to use it.
Somehow the Panthers are not doing the worst.
If I had to predict what this pick may go towards, probably a quarterback. I don't think the Daniel Jones experience will be continuing much longer, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree. Daniel Jones is definitely a limited player at this point, or a limited what's it called? It has a limited time for starting, definitely.
Yeah. Like unless Daniel Jones, actually arguably Daniel Jones lights it up this year, it might be worse for the Giants. So that can put them in another situation where they like, do they trust it? And that's an old mess.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we'll see. Have to wait and see how that goes for the Giants. Anyways, next up, a nice little division rival joining them at the bottom of the NFC, we have the Commanders. Let's give our reasonings for them going 4-13. We're talking about a team full of it's like one of the few teams I would argue is up there for the retirement home of this year. A lot of old players, which comes with injury risk inherently when you sign old players.
Yeah. Who do they have? They have Adam.
Another thing to mention.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the Panthers. They have Scary Terry. Is their best receiver.
Yeah. You're right. I kind of forgot where Adam Thielen went for a second. Yeah, but yeah, they did sign they signed Austin Eckler, who, to be honest, has fallen off greatly.
They signed so many players. Like, there's so many jokes that if the Commanders, once they find that time machine to go back to 2019 with their current roster, they'll be amazing.
Yeah, because they signed. I'm trying to think. They signed a ton of people. They signed Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I think they signed the most people.
They signed like
out of any
13
team.
free agents. Half of them, I think, were like on the older, like pushing like 30s, mid 30s. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy.
So like, another thing to mention, we have Jaden Daniels as a rookie QB, which I was gonna say he could come out of the gate and ball out, but like, what tends to happen with like Heisman winners that are similar to Daniels, it tends to happen is they play too much hero ball and then they turn over the ball and take too many sacks and hold on to the ball too long.
Yeah.
Now, in their rookie year. Now, maybe Daniel Jones proves me wrong. Not Daniel Jones. I mean, frick. Oh my God. Anyway, point stands. We'll have to wait and see how the QB goes. And that's the reason why we have them as second worst team in the NFC. Next up, Panthers tied record, but apparently strength of schedule or something head to head. I don't remember either. Something puts them ahead for some reason, but same record. They doubled their win total from last year and now go for a grand total of, and I quote, 4 wins. Woo.
Yeah.
Yep. Worst team in their division. I'm not shocked. Though, I mean, if you told me the Saints find a way to fumble the bag so hard to get finished last in the division, honestly, I'd believe it. But realistically, yeah, it's gonna be the Panthers again.
At this point, man, Derek Carr is looking He's looking very, very bad. I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad
But-
for Derek Carr. He's just gone down ever since his first like 5 years in the league. Like his career's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just bad, man. It's sad. Sad to see the Saints overall downfall.
Yeah. Speaking of Panthers, though, I will say I do think their offense will be better this year, just because they signed people they actually have an O-line this time, and they
Yeah.
have receivers now, besides Adam Thielen. So, that might do something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
They do lose Brian Burns, so defense probably takes a step back.
yeah. What did they get for him again? They got a first. Did they get a first rounder?
Second and a fifth.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because there
Which,
was
compared to the multiple firsts that got offered
Yeah.
by the Rams,
Yeah,
is
'cause
nothing.
that is so funny, man. That's the most Rams thing I've ever heard. That's hilarious. But yeah, Brian Burns. I mean, he'll do fine. He's on the Giants, right?
Yep, yeah, which didn't really upgrade team-wise based on the record predictions.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, like Bryce Young, he's gonna do fine. He shouldn't do so bad to the point where like people are calling him a bust like they were last year. But he shouldn't
I was gonna say
he shouldn't be like an
I
MVP
assume
candidate.
we'll see at least solid quarterback play, but we'll wait and see. If Bryce still sucks in this offense, then maybe he really is a bust. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
I'll be optimistic here.
I really hope that Bryce ends up not really actually being a bust. That'd be sad, man. He would get so much hate because like people would be like, oh, CJ Stroud was always better and stuff like that, and it would just be this whole thing.
I mean, I think no matter what, Stroud's probably going to end up being a better quarterback.
Yeah.
But still point stands.
That just
hopefully-
shows you the incompetency of the Panthers, man. If they genuinely took, remember that what was it, that test that
Oh, I didn't jump. Dang it.
the test that Shroud supposedly failed that was supposed to be like a
Yeah, it was like a quarterback IQ test.
Yeah, if the Panthers genuinely took that seriously and that was their reason for not drafting Shroud, that's kind of sad, man. So I hope that ends
Yeah.
up not becoming true, because that would mean that the Panthers really did sell the bag.
But we'll wait and see. Next up, some people are gonna call me biased for whatever reason because they're in my division, but still, I really don't see how this team does too much better. Next up, we have the Vikings with a 5-12 record.
I mean, that seems like the best you can do with JJ McCarthy, I'm gonna be honest.
You have Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy, maybe you can pull out some wins. So the Vikings did for one season pull out way too many wins out of nowhere, and then proceed to get destroyed at home in the wild card as a second seed. But that's not the point.
I mean, the Vikings and their history in the playoffs has not been the best, but that's another topic for another
One
day.
of the teams to lose 4 Super Bowls and not win one.
Yep.
Anyways, besides the point, another thing to mention, you're playing in one of the toughest divisions.
Yeah.
I don't know what more to say to Vikings fans there. You have a third place schedule. Once again, you don't even get you don't have a last place schedule even to make things easier.
True. Yeah.
On top of that, Hawkinson's likely going to be out for a bit. Addison's probably going to get suspended for drunk driving.
Yeah, he probably is. I forgot Hawkinson existed, not gonna lie.
I mean,
did he tear his ACL too?
I don't know specifics on the injury. I just know he got injured in that
he had
game
a
where we
pretty
clinched the division.
nasty. I remember watching it on TV. I remember seeing he had a pretty nasty knee injury. I hope that's not too serious. He is a top 10 tight end in the league still. So.
Oh yeah, no, he is definitely one of the better tight ends in the league. That's not even up for discussion.
I hope that injury doesn't, really.
Yeah.
Because I feel like JJ McCarthy probably could really utilize a tight end this year.
Yeah.
Just because.
The Vikings literally need everything they can get out of their offense this year.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yep, like I said, that's where we have them. Next up, we have not too shocking. This team really doesn't have any good players on defense, in my opinion, and well, might have a sneaky decent offense now. I doesn't mean I don't see this team really going that well. And this team actually gets, in our prediction, gets swept in the division. The Arizona Cardinals at 6-10. No, not 10, 6-11. I mean, Kyler Murray just hasn't really panned out the way the Cardinals have been expecting a first overall pick to. I mean, part of the reason he's injured constantly hasn't really helped.
Yeah, true.
And he has had one playoff appearance. Now, I will admit, the Cardinals haven't exactly been doing Murray any favors with the sheer lack of talent on this team. But I mean, they have the first receiver off the board in Harrison Jr. So maybe this offense can do something.
Yeah. I mean, I hope Marvin Harrison Jr. is at least a suitable wide receiver. I'm assuming he's gonna be like 1,000-yard wide receiver eventually. Maybe not this year, but eventually he will be. So maybe Kyler Murray and him can make some magic happen. You never know.
I mean, we'll see. Former Buckeye. Can't say, but suck it. No, I'm kidding.
No, the Ohio fans would kill you, to be honest. They are some crazy people.
I was gonna say, well, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie. There were also some very crazy University of Michigan fans.
Yeah, no. I mean, you guys do have like the biggest stadium and probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, dedicated. I feel like Michigan has to be top 5. I feel like LSU might be one. LSU is pretty crazy. Auburn is wild. Auburn with Cam Newton was wild. Those stadiums were packed. But I guess Alabama also roll tide, you know. So I guess they probably are big too.
We're up there. That's the thing. Basically.
Yeah.
Either way, next up, speaking of that division. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, it's not really a good transition. Anyways, we have the Bears going 7-10 again. I mean, you think this team would have an easy? Yeah, you think this team would have an easier schedule now with them being in a last place schedule? But when you're playing the NFC West, the AFC South, and then you're in the NFC North, you have a lot of hard games.
Yeah. And yeah, the Bears they just I don't know. Caleb Williams does not look like he's gonna be the next, Patrick Mahomes. But
like every Bears fan has been saying.
Yeah, but
even if he is going to be that, which is a big if, he's not gonna do it year one.
Yeah, especially
you have to give him time to develop.
Yeah, this team just does not. This team is like barely a last seed playoff team. Like that's like their peak.
I was gonna say 9-8 is like literally the ceiling. If you ask me, you can call me biased if you want, Bears fans, but like, let's be realistic. Every year you win the offseason, and then you go maybe 7 wins at best.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, wrong. You have some potential. You have a lot of like good pieces, but like you have to wait for those pieces to develop together. Another thing to mention, you have an entirely new offense essentially. You can't just assume that they're all gonna gel perfectly together and work well together.
Yep.
I feel like that's another thing to bring up. With that all being stated, 7-10 feels about right after running through the games. They do take a game off the Lions on Thanksgiving, as much as I don't want to say that. I hate Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Thanksgiving is not your guys' time. The
regardless.
Lions are just not. Yeah,
and 10th, and the NFC, which feels perfectly about right. We have the Saints.
Yeah.
Going another 7-10. Apparently, they have a tiebreaker over the Bears somehow. I don't really care to know, but yeah. Which means, they technically finish ahead. What are we expecting from the Saints? A just solid enough defense and an offense that is the most inconsistent thing ever with Derek Carr. That's and then they somehow finish somewhere around the lines of 7 to 9 wins, and maybe barely make the wild card and get blown out. That's like their ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, The Saints are they're just whatever at this point. I guess they don't really have
They
a future.
literally did nothing this offseason besides sign Chase Young, which let's just say there's a reason the Niners cut him.
Yeah,
they
Chase
have no
Young
money.
Chase Young is crazy, bro. I don't know what happened to that guy. He's been on what 4 teams so far?
Yeah,
That's wild.
and like
And
he
he
also
was
just
he
does,
was
like,
was
Saints have-
he was the 3rd pick of the draft, something like that.
something along the line. It was a first rounder at center for that fact.
Yeah, top 10 I think, and he's already been on 4 teams, and he's only been in the league for like
Like-
5 years maybe. I don't know. No, not
Yeah.
5 years. I feel like it's been so. Like I feel like Chase Young
Either
was
way.
drafted like 2 years ago, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's just kind of an odd thing for a player of their draft stock to play it out the way they did. Well, I will admit, I actually kind of didn't hate the Saints draft this year, but I don't think it's going to be enough to change anything.
Yeah, true. I don't even know. I forget who they drafted in the first round. I'm gonna be honest.
They took a left tackle because their left tackle they drafted like a few years back has not panned out at all, and then they took Kool-Aid McKinstry in the 2nd round. So like between those 2 picks, I thought it was like all right. But well, like I said, point stands. I guess we'll see. Saints, prove me wrong. I guess if you want. Next up, and we're gonna do teams that are definitely plausible for to make the wild card, but at least in our prediction, do not make the wild card. We have the Seahawks going 8-9. They feel like it's like the most like 9-8 kind of team ever.
I'm not
and I
gonna
guess-
lie. I think the Geno Smith time is over. I'm sorry, Seahawks
Yeah.
fans, but I think
If-
he's done.
If things honestly don't go well this year, I could actually see them bench Geno for Sam Howell, who they signed in free agency.
Hello there.
Yeah, Sam Howell. He's gonna be done.
He's a weird. He's a weird quarterback.
He's probably gonna be done in 2 years, but I mean, I guess play him now while you have the chance. You know what I mean? So.
He threw an insane amount of yards last
Yeah,
year.
no,
but
bro
way
was
too
what?
many interceptions.
He was first for such a long time, or at least a surprisingly long time in passing yards. So yeah, respect
So,
to him.
I don't know.
man.
Maybe if they can develop him. I don't know. Maybe there's some potential there. Who knows?
Yeah, so I think Geno's done. He had his moment, man. I mean, what was it? One playoff run, 1 season. I guess 2
Yeah.
seasons really, but like 1 playoff run. So I guess yeah. I don't know. He's just kind of. I think just he's had his moment. He's had his time in the spotlight. I think he's done now. So yeah, they gotta move on.
Yep. We'll have to wait and see for certain what they do. I mean, if the Seahawks go 8-9, unfortunately, they're not going to be in the best position to draft a new quarterback. But whatever. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Maybe they sign Dak Prescott after the Cowboys release him.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That
That's a
doesn't
little
seem,
silly.
that doesn't seem like
Enough
the
of
best
the-
business decision.
Yeah, it isn't. I was just throwing out a stupid hypothetical. Anyways. Oh god. Anyways, like I said, Seahawks. We'll see. They have new coaching staff, so maybe we'll see if they and new front office. We'll see what happens in the years to come for them. But I still can't see them doing much this year. Next up, the last team that doesn't make the playoffs, and our predictions, we have again the NFC. We have the Falcons going 9-8 and just missing the playoffs. Welcome to the Falcons, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the Falcon thing to do.
I feel bad because I want Kirk to succeed, but I just don't think he has the best
I
chances.
can't trust the front office, and then like I said, coming off an injury, I don't know. I guess at the Falcons, a lot of people are high on the Falcons. I can't buy into the Falcons.
Yeah, same. It's just so weird, you know. The Falcons just in general are weird.
If they make the playoffs, I mean, I won't be shocked. They win the division, I wouldn't be the overly shocked. But if they get 11 wins, okay, no, I'll apologize.
Yeah, 11 wins is probably their ceiling, but that'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah. We'll wait and see. I don't know. I mean, it's better than the 7-10 they've gone the last 3 seasons, I guess. There's that.
Yeah, true.
Next up, our last team in the wild card, and all of these teams, besides one, have a 10 wins or higher. So we have most of these teams do double digits in the NFC for playoffs. You'll see the exception later. 7 and 10, we have the Rams. I mean, their issue with the Rams, Aaron Donald retired, so I feel like the defense will take a step back. But the offense still has the same pieces. The real question for the Rams is how long is Stafford gonna play?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Stafford's longevity is really interesting.
Stafford's is definitely an interesting quarterback. Obviously, when he's healthy and out there throwing the ball, he is a great quarterback with a lot of options and very good. But oh my God, is this man injury prone?
Yeah,
because of the way he plays.
He's
Normally he can play through those injuries, but normally there's always like one a season that actually gets him off the field for a game or two.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's always just like the small little things that always end up like irking his body and just end up like getting his body like injured. It's so weird. Like he'll get like a little shove in the shoulder. Oh, his shoulder's dislocated, you know. He'll get a little little like bump to the ground. Oh, I tore my Achilles. It's stuff like that. It's just so weird. His body is not the most like durable.
Well, and so I hope he can still, play out for the last years he wants to play in the NFL. I hope that he doesn't suffer a career injury, though I wouldn't be the most surprised way he plays the game.
Yeah, I want Stafford to go out the way he wants to go out. I don't want him to be forced out.
I don't think he has. I think he maybe has maybe at most like 1 or 2 playoff wins in him, and that's about it left in his career.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I say maximum 4 seasons, most likely 2 seasons before he really, gives it up.
Either way, Rams need to figure out what they want to do after Stafford. But at least while they have Stafford, they can at least be a wild card team consistently. It seems like now.
Yeah, hey, I mean they do have Mr. Model himself, Jimmy Garoppolo. So I guess that's.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. Maybe.
The fact that Jimmy Garoppolo though went from being a Super Bowl, year in and year out Super Bowl contending quarterback to a backup in like 3 years is kind of crazy.
Like, I mean, to be fair, he was just carried by that team.
Yeah. He's just had one of the most interesting careers so far, for any NFL quarterback. So I respect it, though.
I mean, yeah, he's accomplished more than a lot of quarterbacks get to. Regardless, like I said, wildcard seed number 7. Seed number 6, this team makes the playoffs. Shocker. I wonder how they're going to do in the playoffs. We have the Cowboys also going 10-7.
Yay. No, I'm kidding. I don't like the Cowboys. No one likes the Cowboys, but we have to put them in here because they're the Cowboys. They make the playoffs, so that's what they count.
If any Cowboys fan says that they're gonna somehow go 12-5 after having a worse team than last year, and now a first place schedule, please explain.
The Cowboys just really can't justify much of anything anymore, to be honest. I think
they made almost no moves in free agency, like at all. The draft, I mean, was fine, but I don't think any of them they draft is gonna really like tip the scales in their favor.
Yeah.
And then what more do I have to really say here? It's the Cowboys. Cool, they're good enough to make the playoffs and maybe win the division, but and then what?
True, yeah.
Which obviously we did not pick them to win the division this time around. Like I said, they got worse. I don't know what more to say.
But to be fair, the team above them isn't in the best. Well, I would say they're not in the most ideal spot as they were earlier. Or I was gonna say
I don't fully trust the team I have ahead of them, but am I gonna trust the Commanders or the Giants?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I wouldn't trust the Commanders, and the Giants have Daniel Jones. So yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
explains
there's a
itself.
reason why those two teams are in the bottom of the NFC for a reason.
Great.
Yeah.
You have found the Sands of Time portal. Brave the ancient
But
temples
anyways,
discovered.
after that, our next and final wild card team, because you know I mean they could do it and win the division, but honestly, I really wouldn't pick them over who we have winning this division. We have the Packers as a pretty strong 5th seed, going 11-6.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
as long as Jordan Love doesn't get injured, that should be what their record is, I think, for most people.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it goes like around 9 to like I think 11 might be the max personally. But I mean, Packers fans, feel free to tell me how Jordan Love's gonna carry you to that 0-17, the 17-0 record.
Oh, I think Packers fans have been humbled since Aaron Rodgers has left, but
Yeah,
I get-
I'm mostly memeing.
yeah, I get that, and I also get like, I just get the idea that like, yeah, the Packers are still gonna be good, but it's really not gonna be, I think, for a while until they're really genuinely like
Yeah,
good like Super
They have a
Bowl
lot of
winning
good
good.
young pieces,
so.
but I just don't think they can quite do it yet. Like,
Yeah.
truly. At least we'll see. Maybe I'm just blind. The Packers are just truly the Super Bowl team, but at least personally, not seeing it. Next up is the 4th seed, only because they win the division, and hilariously over tiebreaker over the Falcons, we have the Buccaneers winning the division for the 5th year in a row. Yeah, it would be 5th year.
Yeah, that just shows you how much that division sucks. The second Tom Brady.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Bucks haven't even been like that amazing outside of that Super Bowl year.
Yeah, the Bucks were definitely a fearable team in that Super Bowl year, but ever since then, they've just been kind of there, to be honest. Like they haven't been like really a real like super real threat. They've just kind of existed in their division. And now the fact that Tom Brady's gone and you guys are still winning the division most likely. I mean, you would have did last year, and like you're probably gonna do it again this year. It's crazy because the second Tom Brady leaves New England, well, we don't even come close to winning the division.
I was gonna say you guys made it to the playoffs.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, fine. We had the 10-6 Mac Jones year, but we all know that was mostly because of Josh McDaniels and our defense. But after that, like, yeah, no, we're not even close to winning the division now. So it's just kind of weird. It kind of shows you how much the NFC South sucks. So.
Yeah,
And they're gonna
definitely
continue
a lot easier
to.
division to win compared to the AFC North, not the AFC West. I mean, we'll get to that, not West, East. Gosh, I can't say directions correctly. Anyways, point steads. Yeah, Tampa Bay we have as the division winner. I mean, if you want to put the Falcons there, I mean, fair, but like, I just don't trust them. Anyways, next up, as our winner of the NFC East, we have the Eagles going a respectable 11-6, and not the disgraceful way they went 11-6 last year. Oh my God, last year. that is the main reason why they are not the top 2 seeds in this conference.
Yeah.
I cannot put enough stock in them now.
Yeah.
I trust them more than the Cowboys after the Cowboys did literally nothing. Because the Eagles did make a lot of moves, and a lot of moves that, in theory, seem like they should work out pretty well.
I mean,
They
yeah.
now have 2 new coordinators, because you can't get much worse than last year's coordinators.
Yeah. And then
I'll be honest, if the Eagles don't win a playoff game this year, I think they're gonna fire Nick Sirianni. I think he's getting fired.
yeah, it's weird because people like the second they don't succeed in the playoffs after that Super Bowl run, people are like, oh yeah, fire Nick Sirianni. What is he doing? Why do we have this guy as our coach? You know, it's kind of weird. How I'm not saying like they're like hypocrites or anything. It's just it's kind of a weird, thought.
Most teams, if you say they went 11-6 and made the playoffs, you'd be like, oh, they're doing a pretty solid job as the head coach. But then you realize they were 10-1.
Yeah.
And lost all but one of their last games after that point. And the game they won, they didn't even convincingly win against the Giants at home.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, like new coordinators, the draft they got a lot of new defensive talent in the draft. Assuming Jalen Hurts that last year is like more of a fluke, or I don't think we'll see Jalen Hurts from 2022, but we'll see at least a better Jalen Hurts than 2023, at least next year.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, I don't think we have a chance to see a better Jalen Hurts than that Super Bowl run year, but I mean, it's probably it won't be for a while.
More. I need to see more before I start like putting stock into it.
Yeah.
Someone did not teleport me. What the flip?
I don't think it'll be a while until we see like a MVP level Hurts again.
Well, like I said, we'll have to see how this year goes, and we can have the discussion. I feel like that's a fair way of putting it.
Yeah.
Next up, our 2 seed. Shocker, who the top 2 seeds are in this conference. Both of these teams have the same record, an insane 14-3 record, which, yeah, ridiculous. But it's hard to bet against these 2 teams in the regular season games, to be fair. Number 2, losing the tiebreaker and losing the 1 seed basically in week 17, we have the Niners. Not too bad of a year. It's still 2 more wins than last year.
Yeah.
Will the Niners go 14-3? We'll see. It's just hard to pick upsets against them.
I mean, it's Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy and George Kittle and Deebo Samuel, so it's pretty.
We can start listing players, and then people are going to bring up how we missed this player that's also really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard not to like just realize, yeah, their roster is still like top 3, arguably top 2 talent in the league.
There's a reason why the Rams, despite being a pretty solid team, are not going to be a division winner.
Yeah, no. It's just not realistic at this point, sadly.
Yeah. But yeah, Niners being a top 2 seed feels like almost a lock.
I mean, as long as they have freaking Kyle Shanahan and Christian McCaffrey, I trust that team to do really good. Like, I mean, those are like the 2. Like,
I mean, if Brandon Ayuk leaves, we can have a discussion somehow this year. But it sounds like he's staying at least for this year. For now, I think, like I said, I think 14-3 is fair. I don't see them realistically getting higher than this because it's hard to win that many games in a row.
Yeah.
But like I said, the 1 seed, call me biased if you want, but I have the Lions.
I mean, biased much. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, objectively speaking, we're talking about a top 5 offense in every category, and top 3 in most categories for a start. Like, it is hard to stop this rushing and passing offense. Just the dual threat of it alone. There are teams that have done it, like the Ravens being one of the few teams that managed to do it, but it's hard.
I would say the Lions, the worst they can do is probably like 4th this year. So top 4 is guaranteed, and then most likely
I'd say top 3 in the seed. A top 3 seed. I don't see the NFC South having a better division winner.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, so yeah, top 3.
Seed if somehow everything also goes right for the Packers, but that's a very big if.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine. I would agree with you then. Top 3 basically guaranteed, and then from there it's really just preference on who you think.
Yeah, I trust them far more than the Eagles, and like, I can understand having the Niners about them. I'm not gonna.
I mean, I can see the argument for the Eagles. I mean, they have Saquon Barkley now. They got they got probably a more well-rounded
like I said, I can
team.
see the argument. I just don't trust the Eagles enough to predict it.
Yeah, I don't trust Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts as much as I used to now. So I agree. They're probably the weakest set of them and the 49ers.
But like I'm saying, you can't deny there's a lot of talent in the Eagles. Once again, same thing with the Niners. A lot of talent. And then, like I said, the reason the Lions lost the championship, at least one of the reasons they lost the championship game, was their defense. Unfortunately, just being arguably the worst passing defense in football last year. Yeah.
Not being able to stop.
This time around, we have completely new secondary, essentially. Safety room was the only thing really remains kind of unchanged, but that was like one of the good few pieces of the defense. The D line's massively improved between Reader and would likely could be still be a good Marcus Davenport. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not the most in on that decision, but we'll see. He has potential when he's healthy. I just don't know if he's going to stay healthy. Kind of thing.
It's a lot of teams in the NFL, but yeah, the Lions and the 49ers, I would say, being the top 2 seeds definitely applies to them on, being able to stay healthy because they have all this potential.
We'll wait and see for certain which of these teams gets the 1 seed, but for now we're predicting the Lions. Not an overly hot take, to be fair.
Yeah.
What we're predicting the 2 teams that made the conference championship game to in the top 2 seeds? Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. When you put it that way, yeah, it's pretty hard to deny that this is probably like one of the best, if not the most realistic and just best prediction yet.
Yep. Other way, if the Lions may not go 14-3, I mean, meh. It's like I said, it's hard to predict against. It's hard to bet against them when they have a lot of things going for them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the NFC, which means our playoff matchups would be Lions first round bye, Niners versus Rams, and Cowboys versus Eagles, and then Green Bay versus Buccaneers. A lot of divisional matchups there in the wild card, which was a coincidence for the record.
I mean, it makes sense. Even though it's a coincidence, it does make sense.
Yep. Then let's get over to the AFC before we get into quick. We did do all the way through the playoffs, though. Obviously, definitely gonna be inaccurate because this is way too far out.
Yeah. True.
First up, unfortunately, but also kind of not that shocking, we have the New England Patriots finishing bottom of the conference, going 3-14.
Yeah.
Not much to say. This team has a lot of good defensive pieces still, and has a lot of potential developing offensive pieces, but still just does not have the weapons. This team needs to do anything really, besides keep teams to hopefully below 16 points and somehow win.
Yeah, it's Patriots we used to be really good at that. They used to be, being able to keep teams at 21 and under, sometimes even 13 and under. Nowadays, we're probably gonna lose by 20 most of the time, or at least 10. So it's gonna be a decent loss for us most of the time. So we're not if we have if we have more than 2 convincing wins, more than 10 or more than 20, I'll be surprised, because the way our team's looking right now, it's just not ideal. But I mean, we have Drake May. Hopefully he's not Zach Wilson 2.0 or Sam Darnold 2.0.
If this projection goes off, second overall pick, you can get a pretty good wide receiver or another good piece to potentially make this offense into something.
Yeah, I think next year's supposed to be a quarterback draft, so maybe we could replace him.
I was gonna say, let's see how Drake May does. If it doesn't pan out, you have the luxury now of getting a new quarterback. If Drake May pans out, which I assume probably will pan out, you could eventually even trade that pick down to get more stuff to develop the roster. So overall, just your team tanking this year is probably the best based on your current roster talent. Yep. Not much more to say on that end other than. Yeah, actually, I'm out of things to say. We'll see what happens for the Patriots, I guess, after this year. I mean, new head coach, also probably a good chance the defense is going to take a step back without Bill Belichick, assuming he is still the mastermind that we all think he is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Jerron Mayo's going to be fine. I think he'll be.
I mean, yeah, I imagine he'll still do fine, but I'm assuming you'll see some drop off without having Belichick.
Yeah,
defense specifically. Offense probably takes a step up though.
Yeah, I would agree. Maybe we'll have to see though.
Next up, second and last in the conference, going 4-13. Currently, according to tiebreakers, this team is below the team above it, but same record. We have the Titans, a team that basically pulled the same thing as the Commanders. And just signed everyone they could in free agency and hope to see what sticks.
Yeah, it's a very weird.
They addressed the O-line, so Levis should have something to protect him.
Something,
last year.
Yeah. So something's gonna be there to stop, you know, the 300-pound man running at him. So
hopefully, kidding.
Yeah, you'd hope.
They have that. Like I said, just a lot of pieces. I'm not sure it's all gonna like work too perfectly well together. If this team has a higher ceiling than I'm giving them credit for, because they're just like, if all the pieces click, this team has could actually could maybe finish third in the division. But like I said, I just don't know how that's gonna work, having just that many new players in your roster. And we still haven't really seen a ton from Levis just yet.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think Levis, I think he'll be out of the league in like 2 years, but we'll have to wait. Oh, not out of the league, but basically a backup in 2 years, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't really believe
either
that.
way. I mean, if Levis is actually the guy, congrats. They're gonna do better. If Levis isn't the guy, they're gonna have a good draft pick and a class of good quarterbacks. So, hey, things could be worse.
I mean, with losing, what's it called? When your front office wants to lose someone like Mike Vrabel, then I feel like things could be definitely a lot worse. Without him. So I guess it's not, they're not the worst without Mike Vrabel, but definitely could use him. Still a dumb move by the owner. I think it was the owner or the GM. One of them was like, oh, we can do this.
I
without
agree
him.
with you. I think
So dumb.
firing Vrabel is kind of a questionable decision, but I guess we'll have to see how it goes. Either way, that's the reason we have them as low as we do. Next up, we have the Broncos, who basically cut everyone from their roster, more or less, in hopes to rebuild, which, makes sense.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think the only genuinely good players they have are Cortland Sutton. Vontae Williams looks washed ever since he tore his ACL, so that's kind of sad. Who's on their defense? I don't even know anymore, man. I genuinely have no idea who's on their defense. I'm trying to think of people on their team. Yeah, they just don't have a good team anymore. Russell Wilson gutted all of their money, and now they're rostered. Nobody wants to be there, so it's just a lose-lose.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. That's the reason we have this team going 4-3. I've heard people predict this team as low as 2 wins, so we'll see. We'll have to see how Bo Nix does.
Dude, Bo Nix actually is getting so much hate to the point where I think it genuinely is going to affect him. He's actually going to probably suck, really bad. I think the hate's going to get to him. I think he's going to have a really terrible first year, and he's probably going to be a backup in 2 years, maybe even next year. I feel bad for Bo Nix. He's just gotten into the worst situation.
I mean, it's basically up to Sean Payton to prove that he still can be that guy as a head coach, honestly.
Yeah, Sean Payton.
If Bo Nix doesn't pan out, I feel like that very well could be Payton's job.
Yeah, I don't know. Sean Payton's an interesting guy because he's a good coach, but he just the Broncos situation is just not ideal, and he's not really helping himself out or the team by getting so mad all the time. Him yelling at Russ 24/7 on the sideline was kind of a stupid move because you're making the team energy just go down while also making your quarterback just lose all confidence. I just didn't know.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's. I guess I get that it's like kind of his personality, but I don't think that was the move, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
Dude, Santa time is so hard, man. Like, I'm.
Oh yeah, no. I wouldn't try out Meltdown. It's kind of alright. It's just shooting zombies with a bow.
Yeah, meltdown. Yeah, meltdown's
Red
kind
Hunters
of.
was fun. I imagine it'd be more fun to like actually queue with like people.
Yeah.
It's like also fun, but no, Sands has just been fun.
Sans is fun, and it's actually like hard. Like like it actually.
Oh
is
yeah, no, I
decently
haven't
hard.
actually been able to pull off a perfect run yet. I really want to be if I can do that before like the event ends.
Yeah, same.
Anyways, I should probably get into the next team. Third place in the division because the Broncos finished below them. This team going 6-11 because they do have a lot of good pieces, but like once again they have Minshew mania or freaking O'Connell as their options at quarterback. Yeah, the Raiders.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Yeah. Yeah, basically it sounds like they're gonna need to pick up a quarterback or in free agency or draft. Either way, they need a quarterback.
Definitely.
And they just don't have one right now.
Yeah. Aiden O'Connell had like what, one good game last season, and he played like 3 at the end of the year, or whatever it was. And Minshew's
He did
Minshew.
fine for his time starting.
I think he did. He threw like 3 touchdowns in one game, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like it was kind of a scuffed game because I think, I don't know, I forget what happened, but it was an interesting circumstance. But
he did fine, but like
yeah, Minshew's gonna be
not,
Minshew.
not like a starter level kind of quarterback.
Yeah,
But
yeah, definitely not a
we'll
starter.
see.
I mean, a starter for the Raiders this year, but not a starter in general.
Yeah, like a true starter, I guess you can say, is it, if you want to phrase it like that. Next up, we have a team I definitely could see finish a lot higher than this, but like they are playing in a pretty difficult division, and we don't fully know what we're getting with Anthony Richardson. We have the Colts going at 11. Sorry, not 11. Going that's way too high. 7-10.
Yeah. I
Still
mean,
a respectful amount. They don't have a few things. Number one, you have a third place schedule instead of a last place schedule last year. And I'm not gonna lie, the Colts looked so bad at some parts of last year, but looked so good at other parts of last year.
yeah, I just think Richardson, what he showed us is like, it's like early Andrew Luck, not in the sense of like they play similar almost, but it's like kind of like they both are good on a bad Colts team, and eventually they'll get good. But right now, they're just the team's not ideal all around, so they're just gonna probably do whatever. But I mean, going forward, they should eventually get their act together and like actually build around Richardson and make an actual team, and make it actually worth his time to play there. So yeah, I trust the Colts. Not now, but in the future, I think I trust them to.
I could see this team finish second. I could definitely see this team possibly finish second in the division. I don't think that's out of the question.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm willing to predict it personally, which is why they're not.
Yeah.
And only third. Next up, the team that everyone is bought and so much hype into, but I just not really sure about that. We have the New York Jets.
Man, the Jets. The Jets are gonna be so funny this year. If Aaron Rodgers gets injured, or if like something happens on the team that's just interesting, it's gonna be so funny to see what happens. Like, I don't know, that team just seems like they just aren't gonna be stable whatsoever. Like, they're just gonna be like rocking back and forth when it comes to just everything. Like, I think Robert Saleh might quit by the end of the year. Like, that, it's not out of the question. Like, that team is just gonna be like crazy in every single possible way. I think they have a chance of doing really good, But if they end up like not being able to gel together at all, that would be the funniest thing because you know everybody's gonna be pissed. Like Aaron Rodgers might retire by the end of this year if they do that. If they do bad.
Yeah.
So
We're talking about a
It'll be
team
funny.
once again has a lot of older players they brought in just to appease Rodgers, so that could
Yeah.
pose an injury risk potential.
Yeah.
And just Rodgers himself, who we'll have to wait and see how he plays after the injury. That's
funny.
That cannot be ignored.
It's funny because they brought in Randall Cobb last year to appeal to Rodgers, and Rodgers was like, "Oh, cool, you got Randall Cobb," you know, because they were pretty tight on Green Bay, and then now Randall Cobb freaking retired, man. So now he's left with Allen Lazard and Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson, which isn't the worst wide receiver core, but I mean, it's not what he had in Green Bay. It's not like Devontae Adams. Like none of those receivers are better than Devontae Adams, like in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think we might see some rage from the coaching staff, from Aaron Rodgers, from a lot of people around the organization. It's whether or not they can all just get their act
Rodgers
together.
gets injured again. I don't even want to know what's gonna happen in New York City.
Is Zach Wilson still on their team, or is he on the what team is he on?
No, he actually, funny story. I think he got traded for as either a 6th or 7th round pick to the freaking Broncos.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say it might have been the Broncos. I remember seeing that.
They got a new backup. I don't remember who the backup for the Jets is now, but either way,
Is
you
it?
can't.
Oh, is it
be
Mike
much worse.
White? Do they still have Mike White? That guy who threw like 4 touchdowns 2 years in a row when he literally came in as a backup and threw 4 touchdowns in 2 different games. He threw like 3 interceptions, but come on, 4 touchdowns is 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, Mike White would be funny to see really just like get in there if Rodgers is injured again. But I mean, it's whatever. They're the Jets. The Jets are gonna do Jets things, and I'm really excited to see how they play out. What would we put them as their record again? Sorry,
sorry, I forgot. 9-8.
I mean, yeah.
8-9, my bad.
Yeah, that's we lowball them, but like
on the bubble of playoffs.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't like.
Oh. Aqua, I think, might have crashed. I don't know. Yo, what's up, Pizza Lord? Welcome to the stream. How am I? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing amazing as well. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And consider becoming a member because I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel a ton. Like, it really helps out the channel a lot. And yeah, I appreciate every single one of you for being here. Yeah, enjoy the stream, guys. No, I'm dead. I'm done. Yeah, no, there's no more sand around me. I think this is my best score yet. Did I survive like 5 minutes? Come on, give me 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just crashed a second there.
Yeah, it's fine now. That's what I kind of thought. Dude, I was so close to getting 5 minutes. Oh, I got 440. Sad. I want to see how long. That'd be funny to see how long you could really survive in Santa time on this. You could probably push 10 minutes. You could probably get close to 10 minutes. Maybe, I don't know.
And finishing off this team, also a lot of these teams are really close together in record, so I feel like the 7th seed in this conference is really up for grabs.
Yeah. Is your mic muffled? It sounds weird. It sounds different. I don't know if I can.
It's different right now because I'm on my phone waiting for my laptop to restart.
Okay.
I'm just calling it good on my stream on my end. I'm just gonna finish this out with you.
All right.
Either way, yeah. Next up, 8-9 Jacksonville Jaguars. Once again, a team that very well could be the 7th seed. Could win. They could still win the division if Lawrence really improved that money. He's worth the money, but I'm not going that far.
Yeah.
Personally.
I agree.
I think second in the division again is kind of where they're probably finishing. Now that there's actually teams in this division that actually can do stuff, I don't think they're gonna be winning the division again for a minute if they remain the way they are.
Yeah.
So 10th in the conference. Speaking of teams that barely missed the playoffs, we have finishing 9-8 because they can't finish any lower than that because it's Mike Tomlin's Steelers at 9.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin. Woo, we love Mike Tomlin here. We don't like the Steelers because the Steelers are whatever. Steelers are you know, they're just whatever. They're just kind of there. But we do like Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's pretty cool, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, not much more to say. Keeping the winning record. This team did a lot of weird moves in the offseason.
Sorry I have to go or even
Not
baseball. No
necessarily
problem,
bad.
man.
I mean,
Don't worry.
Russell
Hey,
Wilson is
I
basically-
appreciate you stopping by the
basically
stream.
free
Thank you.
when you got cut.
Keep up the good work. Thank you,
And
man. I appreciate you.
6th
Hey,
round pick.
have a
for
good day,
Justin
man.
Fields, sure, why not?
Yeah.
At least it probably is still gonna be. It probably is better quarterback play than what they've had. But like, yeah, their quarterback play has been absolute garbage.
Yeah,
And one win
Kenny
too.
Pickett was
I
not
agree
it.
with them. Yeah.
They
Kenny
thought
Pickett's not back
the
on the
local
team,
man
so I was
from
wondering.
Pittsburgh was gonna be able to show out for them, but no, that did not happen.
Yeah. No. Hey, wait and see with the
do you
two
think-
quarterback options. If
I
one of them
mean,
pans out, then maybe.
Do you think Russell Wilson's gonna get benched for Justin, or do you think it's gonna be like a vice versa or anything like that?
I could see Russell getting benched for Fields.
What do you
but I
think?
guess
Like
I don't know
how?
how good.
Ah.
I don't know how good Russell Wilson's gonna do in this system.
Yeah. How many games do you give Russell before he gets benched?
I could see him finishing the season. Maybe.
Really? I don't think I can. I don't know.
Here's the way I see him finishing the season because we have him 9-8, right?
Yeah.
I think they're not gonna want to rock the ship because they're in playoff contention, and that's gonna be the only reason he finished out the season.
Yeah, I guess.
That is my logic there.
I
And
mean,
we'll see what they get from Fields next year. Is probably what they're gonna attempt. Either that, or I was gonna say maybe one of them goes in for injury.
Either way, if they don't have a winning record, obviously, then I see Russell Wilson getting benched for Fields. But I cannot bet against Mike Tomlin getting a winning record, or at least a non-losing record for the year in a row is it now?
yeah. 11th or something like that. Yeah, sure, yeah. I agree with
I
you.
can't bet it. Either way, there you go. And then the other team just missing the playoffs. This might be a little overestimation, which is based on just inherently how good this team is. But to be fair, this team has one of the worst, one of the easiest schedules in the league. To be honest with you, we have the Chargers at 8 in the conference, finishing 9-8 as well.
Sad
Like-
to say.
You're in a division with literally only one team that's actually good, which is the Chiefs. I mean, it gives
Yeah.
you a lot of hope
Yeah.
and a lot of goodwill. Yeah. Harbaugh should be able to coach this team at least better than freaking Brandon Staley.
Oh yeah, no, I 100%. I believe in Harbaugh's coaching ability. What I don't believe in is
Is
the Chargers wide receiver core. I literally looked at this earlier. Dude, they have Joshua Palmer, some guy I've never heard of before, and then Quentin Johnson. Like, dude, who the heck are those? Like, Joshua Palmer was like a fine third wide receiver behind Mike Williams and Keenan Allen the past 2 years. But dude, Joshua Palmer as your number one, and then Quentin Johnson, and then some other random guy that I think they drafted. That I just
they drafted someone in the second round, I think, if I'm correct.
yeah, I have no idea who Justin Herbert's throwing the ball to. I don't even know if Justin Herbert knows who he's throwing the ball to. I'm gonna be honest, dude.
I can't wait for Justin Herbert to become the new running back. I'm kidding.
Justin Herbert is gonna have to start running, bro. He's gonna put up 1,000 yards this season. Because what else are they gonna do? Gus Edwards is your running back too. I like Gus Edwards, but come on, that guy's like a goal line back. He can't be running 100 yards up and down the field. That's not feasible for him. I feel like Gus Edwards is gonna get injured.
Might be this team's ceiling, to be honest, and it's probably there's a 1 in a million chance the team makes the wild card, and if they do, they just get blown out.
Yeah,
They don't have a
there's.
receiving core.
I think there's less than a 1% chance they win a playoff game or get a double-digit record. They're going anywhere from 7 to 8 wins, or sorry, 7 to 9 wins. And they're gonna have a lot of drama surrounding them by the end of the season. It's gonna be really, really weird because
Well,
you're gonna
wait and
have
see. I was gonna
so many
say, if they
weird
can somehow like
you know?
trade for Brandon Ayuk, I guess, from the Niners. this
Yeah, I
team
think
could do
that's their
something.
only shot. It's just like, who do they give up? I don't think they care at this point. I think they could give up like everybody
gonna
for
say,
Brandon
yeah.
Ayuk because like he's better than like everybody they have. So
Yeah, it's basically the thing they have that's like really keeping them even this high is Justin Herbert, which has not been able to really prove like. Obviously, you see Justin Herbert play, you can see that he's a good quarterback, but he hasn't really proven that at all in the postseason. But, I don't know. Either way, they're not in the playoffs in our prediction, and then the final team are in the playoffs, going 9-8 and barely clutching out that wild card spot. We have the Dolphins.
the Dolphins do the Dolphins things, and them getting one of the last 2 seeds makes sense. So
I mean, I can't bet on them winning the division. I mean, because they've shown that they can choke away I forgot how dumb the lead was. It was like a 3 or 4 game lead against the Bills.
yeah,
Like, you can't choke that away, right? You can't lose to the Titans, right?
man, the Titans always get in just the most random backlash.
Like, I
but
can't
it's
have
true.
faith in the Dolphins. I don't know what to say. They haven't won a playoff game since 2002. I don't know what more to say on that.
They also haven't had like a playoff caliber team since like Dan Marino. So yeah, sure. Or not? Sorry. I meant like a Super Bowl or just playoff winning.
A Super
caliber
Bowl,
team.
yeah, type of team. Yeah, they managed to fill a lot of the holes they lost in free agency, but like I just don't think they got any better from last year, and they still have to sign Tua to an extension. Oh boy, not a fun position. Yeah, like I said, they do make the playoffs in this situation though. That's still something. Next up as the 6th seed. Sorry, next up as the 6th seed in the conference, we have the Cleveland Browns going 11-6. We're talking about a team that last year that went, I think, was it the same record? With a billion injuries. So I mean,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
they want the same.
terrible
record.
quarterback, yeah, and and also terrible quarterback play pretty much for most of the year until the Flacco, who managed to do some silliness, but enough silliness to win them games.
Yeah, like 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, silliness. But hey,
Like,
won a game, so yeah.
It worked. Well, is this team really, like I said, if Deshaun Watson has shown any bit of good consistency, I'd be like, oh, this team has such a good defense. This team should be winning games. This team does a really good defense. That offense, I don't know. They have a good run game. If Chubb's back on the field.
They do have a good run game, and Kevin Stefanski's a good coach, and
there's a lot of things to like about this team. That's why they have 11 wins, but they're just like missing that quarterback piece.
yeah,
Which is why I can't put them any higher, and I also don't think they can win the division. I'll be honest, I really don't think they, despite like having a comparable record, I don't think they can win the division this year, to be honest with you.
true.
But either way, that's the Browns in 6. No, the final wild card, you kind of could guess it's going to be one of the other AFC North teams. And we have, as a wild card, the Ravens this year. This team was an insane regular season team last year, and they did win the playoff games, and did come somewhat close to beating the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Surprisingly, I mean, no, not surprisingly. To be honest, because they actually had a chance from the beginning, but still, I guess it was
Yeah,
the Chiefs, so most people thought the
They
Chiefs were
kinda-
gonna win.
I'll be honest, it kind of was the Ravens' fault for them not winning that game. They fumbled
definitely.
it in the 1-yard line, and they also just stopped trying to run the ball when it was working.
Yeah,
Other things, like I don't know, this unfortunately, they lost their defensive coordinator, which I'm gonna say right now, I don't know if the Ravens will be the best defense in football again this year for that reason.
I mean,
That kinda
they do have a good secondary. They
They
did.
do have a good defense still, but I just think the loss of the coordinator is gonna at least hurt them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they also lost Patrick Queen to a division rival, so that's kind of sad. But
Yeah,
they
that's
do
another
have
thing.
they definitely do have a top 5, I would say, defense still. Most likely,
Yeah,
at least.
no. Like, that's why we have them going 12-5. Like, that's still an insane record. Obviously, this is assuming Lamar stays healthy. I don't have any major reason to believe Lamar will get injured, but like, it's definitely a possibility since we've seen Lamar's injury history. But assuming this team is healthy, this team is very, very threatening, and definitely could be the division winner and could be the 1 seed again. I'm just not predicting it here right now.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like I said,
With the healthy
also,
Joe
this team
Burrow, it's pretty hard. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other thing to mention is this team did lose a few other pieces in free agency. I could go into detail, but they did get Derrick Henry, so the run game should be extra good.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I think. I'm actually really excited to see how Derrick Henry and the Ravens gel together.
Yeah. Like I said, 5th seed for that reason, only because of how broken their division is. Now for our division winners. Our first one being the weakest division winner, but that's not really saying a ton, just record-wise, because they play in a really tough division. We have the Texans going 11-6. Like, what is there to say about the Texans at this point? I mean, they have a really good quarterback. They have a really good offense. They've had a lot of really good defense. It's not a lot of holes in this team. They have a good head coach. Like, it's just a really good team. They could lose the division, but I think they're almost certainly gonna, like, I put it like 90% they win the division this year again.
Yeah, probably.
Like, unless Stroud regresses, this team is in a really good spot to make a run this year. But yeah. Anyways, in 3rd place in the conference, to be fair, they play in a quite a bit easier division in my opinion, or at least they tend to do really well in the divisional games. We have the Buffalo Bills. Going 12-5.
The Buffalo Bills, man, they got rid of so many people.
Yep, but they still have Josh Allen, and Josh Allen is insane. That's kind of the summary here. Plus, they still are gonna have a good defense. It's just really a question how well their Josh Allen's weapons are gonna develop throughout the year.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen is like top 2, top 3, whatever you want to put him for
Yeah, I was gonna
quarterbacks.
say you can at the lowest you can post, and you can put him 4th. That's the lowest. You can
Yeah.
put him.
I'd probably say right now he's 2nd. I think if Joe
I was
Burrow
gonna
plays
say
another,
sheer talent, I'm giving Josh Allen 2nd.
yeah, I think he's. I don't know. I've had Burrow at 2nd for a while, personally. But here's the thing, right? Burrow hasn't played a full season.
I was about to say
a
I can't
little
put Burrow
bit.
2nd with his injury. Is just how much he gets injured, at least until I see it.
Yeah, I think
it.
if Burrow plays a full season and Josh Allen plays a full season, whoever does better this upcoming season, as long as there's no like serious injury, I'm probably gonna say that person's the 2nd behind Mahomes. So yeah, but
Obviously, Lamar's up there. You can
Yeah.
argue.
I mean, you could argue Lamar's
Lamar.
too. I mean, Lamar and Mahomes.
Yeah, I
you
think
know.
Mahomes being number 1 though is the only inarguable thing when it comes to top quarterbacks.
Yeah, you could argue Lamar for 2. I mean, he does have 2 MVPs, so
Yeah, I was gonna say he has 2
Something
MVPs.
Mahomes
He
does-
doesn't quite have the most stellar postseason, but neither does Allen, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah. Either
Oh
way.
wait, no, Mahomes. Yeah, Mahomes has 2, right? I'm forgetting
No,
his 2nd one. What's his? Did he have a 2nd?
He has 2 MVPs.
Oh, was it
but-
last year before Lamar? Was it the
Yeah.
one? Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
he had
it. I don't know why I
2022
forgot
over
about that
Hurts.
one. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, obviously 3 rings. Yeah, Lamar. I was gonna say Mahomes number 1 quarterback. Anyway, speaking of the Chiefs, yes, they're actually the 2 seed because They do have some tough games, but it's the Chiefs. They're gonna win their division. I mean, they have no competition in that division, to be fair. Like, yeah, they'll probably be a top 2 seed in the conference. I think last year's regular season is about a floor if they repeat that somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good team. Obviously, there's a reason they've won 2 Super Bowls in a row. Will they three-peat? We'll see in the playoff predictions. And last but not least, by process of elimination, yes, we have the Bengals with the 1 seed, assuming Joe Burrow is healthy, because we're talking about a team, sure, that plays in one of the toughest division, arguably the toughest division in football, but also has a last place schedule with a Super Bowl caliber team, which just feels unfair.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Burrow, man. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are something different. Him and Jamar Chase is a connection like no other. And even though they lost Joe Mixon, they're still going to be exceptional.
Yeah, I was going to say, they lost a few pieces, but at least now the Bengals have a better O-line this year. So, will that be enough to keep Burrow healthy? And if so, could be the difference maker right there, that alone. And they still have T. Higgins. They still have... despite Higgins, like I said, potentially going next year. As long as Burrow stays healthy this year, we can see a really good Bengals team. Burrow doesn't stay healthy, then then you have a lot of questions to ask. The Bengals have a lot of questions to ask if Burrow cannot stay healthy again. But regardless, assuming we're talking about a healthy team, this team is the 1 seed, at least for looking at the games for us. And I guess it's time for playoffs.
Yep.
Running through the playoffs again. On the AFC side, we have the Bengals getting their first round bye because, you know, they mentioned in the conference. Then we have the Chiefs facing off against the Dolphins again in Kansas City. I don't think I need to tell you how that one's going to end.
Yep.
But,
sorry, Dolphins.
Yeah. Literally, probably the worst thing the Dolphins could have drawn, to be honest. But also, you know, it's not even like the Dolphins are luck for the playoffs, at least in my opinion. Next up, we have the Bills versus Browns. Definitely a very interesting game. As we just talked it over already, we actually have the Bills getting the win at home. For whatever reason, the Browns defense seemed to have played a lot worse on the road, for one.
Yeah.
And even if the Bills have a worse team than last year, I think it's still Josh Allen at home.
Bills Mafia, yeah.
Like, really solid team here. Next up, and the final run of the wild card in the AFC side, we have the Texans versus Ravens, a rematch of the divisional round of last year. Oh boy, was this a hard one to pick. We have the Ravens.
This was
on the road.
Was this the one? No, we didn't coin toss this, right? Was it? I don't know. This was the hardest one. Yeah. I think we almost coin tossed this one because it was so hard. Yeah.
Yeah, because last year the Ravens did blow out the Texans, but this is a better Texans team and arguably a worse Ravens team than last year. And this is Texans having the home field advantage this time around.
Yeah, true.
But with that being stated, the Ravens are still have Lamar Jackson. It's a dangerous team. But in the end, we gave it to the Texans at home with home field advantage. But if you would have picked the Ravens, I understand. And finally, let's get to the NFC. We have the Lions getting their first round bye, you know. And then next up, we have the Packers and Tampa Bay.
That, I mean,
very interesting game.
Depending on how
Bucks
Baker plays.
Home field advantage.
It all depends on how Baker plays, I feel like. So
yeah,
I think Jordan Love is probably a more consistent quarterback than Baker.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Like, once again, congrats to the Bucks winning the division. I just don't think they're winning a playoff game this year if it's against the Packers. As much as I would love to say I think the Packers are gonna suck, and because you know, Lions fan here. But no, I gotta be fair and objective. I think the Packers take this one on the road. Next up, we have the Niners versus Rams, and unfortunately, this isn't the Rams of 2021. So we have the Niners taking this one at home. Like, the Rams still could very much upset a team. I just don't think the Niners are going to be the team that gets upset by the Rams.
Yeah.
Like,
Sad.
the Niners are just really talented, and yeah, they move on. And then, do I need to talk about the Cowboys versus the Eagles? Cowboys choke in the playoffs. The Eagles are a pretty talented team. Let's just give it to the Eagles.
Yep.
So you proved me wrong, Cowboys. Cowboys. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, now this next round where we also have some really hard choices. Next up, we have the 1-seeded Bengals versus the 4-seeded Texans. This is a really hard one. Obviously, Bengals get home field advantage because they're the 1 seed. We're talking about a really young Texans team facing a Bengals team we've seen time and time again be really good in the postseason.
Yeah.
Despite that, we've decided to take the upset, and the Texans beat the 1 seed to play in their very first AFC Championship game. Truly would be something to see if it actually ends up happening.
Yeah.
And then next
would
up,
be
Chiefs
fun.
versus Bills. Yeah, moving on. Chiefs win because we've seen this matchup too many times already now in the postseason. Until the Bills prove they can do it, I don't know what to say there.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a classic Lions versus Packers. I think the Lions get it done at Ford Field.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah.
There's
Lions and Packers
there's a
would be a
chance
fun.
always for a upset, but I think the Lions, at least for right now, are still a more talented team. Elling at home.
Yeah,
And then next up, a rematch of the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. Niners versus Eagles. I think with a healthy Brock Purdy this time around, I think the Niners will take this one against the Eagles at home.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
once again, possible upset here. Definitely possible. I just think the Niners get it done. And we see,
it'll be
which means we see a
close.
rematch. Anyways, now for the AFC Championship game, Texans versus Chiefs. As much as I would love to say predict the Texans to make their first Super Bowl appearance ever, I think the Chiefs probably still get it done at home. But if there is any team to upset the Chiefs in Arrowhead, I think the Texans have a good shot of doing it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna want to see the Chiefs lose that. To be honest, a lot of people are gonna want to
people are gonna
see.
be very sad if this happens this way.
Yeah.
Like, Texans, I'd probably take as the second team in the AFC. To honest, like, I'd be my second pick to upset the Chiefs. Obviously, the Bengals being number one because they've done it before.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then, next up, before the Super Bowl, we have Lions versus Niners. This time, a rematch of last year, but this time in Ford Field instead of in St. Cloud. I think this time around, the Lions will get it done. They showed last year they could do it, obviously, on the road with a significantly worse secondary.
Yeah. True.
For that reason, I think Lions will hopefully make their first Super Bowl appearance ever this year. Well, technically next year is when the Super Bowl is actually held, but you get the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, as much as I don't want to say this one, yeah, we've predicted the Chiefs to three-peat, unfortunately, because it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes until proven otherwise.
I mean,
I hate it here.
it's just it's just kind of how the NFL works now. A new dynasty has.
People are
most
going to
likely
throw
will be.
such a big fit if the Chiefs beat the Texans to get into the Super Bowl and then beat the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
People are going to be so upset.
I would be sad. It would be really sad. I don't even care who they face. It would be very sad to see the Lions lose. So if they lose against the Chiefs, that will be devastating for most people. Especially Lions fans, but probably just because the NFL will just be mad because the Chiefs beat up on the Lions. So.
Yeah. Either way, this is what we have as our predictions for now. Lions predicted to make their best ever run this year based on these predictions. Like I said, Giants first overall pick, and unfortunately the Chiefs being the first ever team in NFL history to three-peat a Super Bowl. Yay!
I mean, hey, those are some decent predictions. I don't have much.
I was gonna say,
like, I actually really like our predictions.
Inherently wrong about these.
I don't think we have the worst predictions ever made. I think we have some pretty good ones. I think we have even some better ones than some sports analysts and sports.
Oh yeah, no,
reporters
I've seen some very funny ones in sports analysts.
Yeah, no, there's gonna be some weird ones. I don't know, like, who it's gonna come from, but they're like, you know, Colin Cowher probably, but not to throw shit on this one person, but there are some people out there that don't know what they're saying or what they're talking about sometimes. So I feel like we got
too many predictions of the Jets winning the Super Bowl this year.
Oh my gosh, the fact that people would even put the Jets as winning the division this year is kind of crazy. Like, you gotta really step back and look at it. Like, the Jets winning the division, and even like the Super Bowl is actually like just stupid. I think that's just like a dumb idea. But even winning the division would be like super hard. Like, dude, the Jets are they have everything going against them. How are they gonna win the division, man? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it for I think my stream. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Those are our predictions. If you want to, you know, ever replay the stream or save the stream or whatever, and go back and watch this, and, you know, make us remind us how bad or how good our predictions are, then feel free to do so.
Feel free to to bring it back up and let me get to the Super Bowl and explain how we were so wrong. Did not believe the Jets were going to win.
Yeah, no, we definitely will bring up the screenshots in Discord of our predictions when the Super Bowl comes up next year. But anyways, yeah. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Probably be playing some MCC Island, maybe some Hoplite. I have no idea yet, to be honest. But definitely later this week. Anyways, thank you everyone so much for watching, and yeah, peace.
Bye.
Bye.